Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me. It's funny that I say that. Honestly, Mike, your radio check, you're working fine. You guys and girls can hear me okay? I hope so. Yeah. Anyway, look, guys and girls. So this is my. It's supposed to be my post-market wrap up. Unfortunately, or fortunately, it doesn't really matter much. I There's not nothing's really going to change because of you. Are you watching what's happening here in the debt market right now? The 10-year yield, the 10-year yield, as I am doing this, is down 10 basis points. Some mysterious entity strikes again. It's buying it all. Thank you, buddy man. I appreciate it. I'm going to give you one and only one guess as to who's buying all this. On the back of what's happening here with the 10-year yield, stocks are higher across the board. Now look at this, guys and girls. Look at this number for the S&P 500. We have finally, on the back of that, okay, finally crossed above the December 5th high with regard to the S&P 500 of 6088. Okay, hold your fire. Okay, we it looks like, yes, the Fed's going to buy it all. They're going to continue to inflate. It really does look like that. But I want to see something. I don't think this is too much to ask. All right. I want to see a hold above 6088, and I want to see a move higher. That would give us a really good entry point, in my opinion. As long as they're in here buying all the debt, okay, it's going to push the stock market much higher. Let me say something else before I move forward. All this talk about cutting rates, cutting rates, cutting rates, cutting rates. The Fed's already buying all the debt. And it's not just the Fed, people. Central banks around the world are the number one buyers and issuers of debt. You know that they've created a vortex, an inflationary vortex that keeps spinning faster and faster and faster into like oblivion. All right. And right now, there is a tsunami of inflation coming at us. And no one's talking about it. No one's talking about it. This morning, we heard from President Trump, and he talked about Biden inflation. All right. We already understand that he admitted it wasn't Biden's fault. Although, let's obviously some of that creature, his policies did play into what happened here. You guys and girls know that I blasted that thing. It's not even human either. Bidenstein mummy man, that I can't even think about it. Although he's a decrepit old man right now and whatever, let's just leave it alone. Okay. But Trump is making you know that, obviously, and I admitted this, the bad economic news that we've gotten even today, the CPI number, the wholesale price number, is not Trump. This is the fallout. Absolutely, Trump is right with regard to what that creature did. But let me say this to you real quick. People are not prepared for what's about to hit us all. And there's nothing standing in the way of the tsunami that is growing larger and larger as it gets towards us, of inflation that's about to hit. Right now, by their own numbers, I mean, this is all fake inflation. Just the inflation rate was 2.9 in December. I believe it was 2.8, 2.9. And then it came up in January to 3. All right, so these numbers are fake. Okay. Now there's a phenomenon occurring here that has not occurred since the 1970s inflationary environment that we were in back then. And I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind with regard to that. Anyway, just let me go back real quick. Gold and silver right now catching a bid. Bitcoin, cryptos, for the most part, are under pressure, except Cardano. Cardano's doing okay. Anyway, look. So what I want you guys and girls to understand, and look, I know many of you out here do follow other people, and there's nothing wrong with that. You guys and girls should be listening to this person, that person, and getting their take. I'm going to ask you guys and girls to, whoever else you guys follow, ask them if they think I'm correct about how I've been screaming from rooftops about inflation for quite a while right now, with regard to Elizabeth Warren and Donald Trump right now talking about lower rates here, the Federal Reserve inflating, buying all the debt. So going back to lower rates, okay, The Fed's in here buying it all. The 10-year yield is the benchmark. If we understand that the Fed, in this case, buying all kinds of debt today, pushing that stock market higher, and other central banks are going to do the same thing, they really don't have to make an announcement. What they're talking, when a central bank, in this case the Fed, all right, pay attention to what I'm saying here. When the Fed says, okay, everybody, we're going to cut rates, what are they really talking about? They're talking about the overnight lending rate, okay? So, but an understanding that does have a ripple effect through, obviously, the entire debt market, but it's really the benchmark 10-year yield you got to look at. I like to look at the 10-year yield and the dollar on a relative strength basis, and that's reflected in the MMRI. Speaking of the MMRI, I know it's not working. I'm trying to get that fixed right now. John Rusk, guy who set that up for me, I'm trying to get in touch with him so he could fix it. Way above my pay grade, man. So we're working on that. We do not need Kamala puke thing. Don't even say that name. Why is someone even mentioning its name? Why is someone mentioning its name here? It's forbidden. Kamala, whatever you want to call it, is forbidden to be mentioned here because I have a garbage bag. I will throw up in it. All right, so let's not do that, please. Okay, now before we get to what I really want to talk about, I want to show you what's happening here. This is today. Americans are piling on debt at a furious pace. We've never seen this before. We've also never seen defaults across the board. This goes right back to what I've been telling you guys and girls for 1,000 years. These banks are in a lot of trouble. They're getting a backdoor bailout right now by deregulation, by merging them with cryptocurrencies. You can't know any of this stuff. We are going to see a consolidation of power. It's all being set up. More power in fewer and fewer hands as we move forward. But American citizens, and this is not just a phenomenon here, the middle class around the world is being systematically erased. Yes, I know, Jesus, Trump does want lower rates with Pocahontas. We'll talk about that in a second more. Now, all this talk about tariffs, or even reciprocal tariffs. Let me just say this. Trump's got this 100% right. I give the man credit when it's due. You know that. I give everyone credit. I even gave the mummy creature credit when it was due, which was pretty rare, if you remember. Carlos, thank you. But here, I'm not a fan of tariffs at all. I think there's another workaround, all right? But this reciprocal thing here, I mean, come on, man. Obviously, this needs to be done. It's a no-brainer here. Are they going to hit us with tariffs? We're going to hit them back, quite obviously. But I want you to ignore tariffs. Everyone talking about tariffs. Look at the tariffs. No. I want you to look at this. If you guys and girls subscribe to my newsletter, again, free. Link in the description of the video. You're going to see this. This is in your inbox, and there's a lot of people waiting on this. Comes down to a chart that I want to go over with you in just a moment. But let me read this to you so you can understand what's happening. Actually, I'm gonna play a little game. I'm gonna show you this chart as I read. So look at this chart. All right. Now, look at this lovely chart. I love you guys so much. All right. This is the relationship between the CPI, or Consumer Price Index, and the inflation rate. Now, the red circle on the left, right there, you see this one right here? Okay. Is the last time we had a crossover which led to an inflationary surge in the 70s, all right? What reversed that surge was this. When then Fed Chair Paul Volcker dramatically raised rates. We went from about where we are now, we're about 3%, according to their own numbers here, 3% all the way up to 15%. Now, Volcker here, it peaked in the 82 or something like that. In 79 is when Volcker started implementing a much higher rate environment. There's a massive lag effect here, So just bear with me on this. So anyway, here we go. So what reversed the surge again was this in 79 when Fed Chair Paul Volcker introduced new monetary policy of higher rates, circled below, right there. As you all know, Greg Mannarino here. Hey, Greg, where are you? Oh, it's me. has been screaming from rooftops that the last thing we need right now is lower rates, like Senator Creature, Elizabeth Warren, and President Trump are calling for. We need much higher rates because if action is not taken immediately, people, I can't underscore this enough. Again, understanding that in the event with Volcker, when he started raising rates dramatically, there was a huge lag effect. We can't wait for that. The doorway has already been opened for cash to make its way to the consumer side of the system, and we're all paying for it in the form of inflation. Again, this is going to accelerate no matter what happens. Forget tariffs, forget anything else right now. If let's say you got Pocahontas over there and Trump saying we need lower rates, this is not what we need. It should be obvious to you by looking at this. Now, I want you to look at this crossover. This is where we are right now. Now, this is a projection. This is where we are right now. This is why I am telling you that we need higher rates today, not even tomorrow or next month or 6 months from now. Trump needs to get on this. Trump needs someone. I don't know who. I would gladly do this. Walk the president through this step by step. Maybe he's not aware of this. The man's not omniscient. Okay, God is omniscient, knows everything. Okay, it's possible. I know he went to Wharton Business School. It's possible he's not aware of this stuff. You understand? I want someone to make Trump aware of what this is. And I believe if he witnessed this, he would say, hold on a minute now. You know what? Maybe Greg is correct. And I need to start making sure rates are higher. So again, we need much higher rates and we need action immediately. And I wrote, I don't know if you can see this. Immediate action is needed due to the lag effect, because even when Volcker raised rates in 79, the effect of higher rates took time to actually start working. So the situation is, people look at this, man. We're at 3% inflation rate according to their own numbers. That's kind of where we started. It went over 15% before Volcker got in here and said, whoa. We gotta raise rates. And then all of a sudden, look what happened. There was a lag effect, as I said, and then it came down. That's where we are now. We haven't been here since early 70s. But again, look, man, I am not sure what President Trump knows or doesn't know. The fact that Pocahontas herself, again, it's astonishing to me that she is the minority leader of the Senate Banking Committee. I don't think the woman knows anything. And I'm being honest with you, all right? I know for a fact that she has no understanding of finance and economics. You can listen to it talk. Zero. Okay. Now, the fact that her and Trump are saying the same thing, look, I want to give President Trump the benefit of the doubt here, saying he actually does understand the economy and how it works. Okay. I could be way wrong here. And, I know he has advisors that are helping him with this stuff. But, who are these people? I have to know. I really have to know. Now, this is Barron's from today. How the stock market could avoid a bloodbath. Let me explain to you about the bloodbath. The stock market is right now floating on oceans of debt. It's a house of cards floating on a pool of gasoline. It's going to go up. I understand clearly, believe me, that if the market got Volckerized, Paul Volcker here started raising rates, the stock market would drop like a rock. But again, it's going to drop like a rock anyway. Do you think this is real? What you're seeing right now, oceans of debt. Now, the Fed buying it all here, the 10-year yield dropping. Where did I put it? 10, I just showed it to you here. 10 basis points today, and that's pushing the stock market higher. Look at this. You see the mechanism here. Buy the debt, suppress rates, stocks go up. What would happen the opposite way? If, instead of the Fed getting in here and buying, the Fed's goal. Every central bank has but one goal, and they're really on a mission to own it all, to buy it all. Are we on the same page, guys and girls? I really hope so. Anyway, look, man, what I'm telling you guys and girls, really, and I don't really know another way to do this or say this another way, is we need action here. It's not about what Trump does or all about Trump or whoever's in power. It's about us. It's about we, the people of the United States, and of course, the people of the world here. We're all in the same boat. Again, the silence is deafening. Every developed nation in the world under the rulership of a central bank is suffering in the same way. Does that tell you something? Maybe that it is in fact the central banks that are causing the inflationary destruction that we're seeing right now, the economic wrecking ball that is in our face via the mechanism of artificially suppressed rates and currency purchasing power destruction. Again, look, don't listen to me anymore. All right. I know a lot of you out here do follow other people. Ask them. Say, is Greg Mannarino correct? He's showing us all these charts and graphs and explaining everything to you to try to make it. So, but is Greg right? Do you agree with Greg that we need higher rates here? Because again, look, man, if we don't get higher rates, we are going to face an inflationary death spiral hellhole. Because if you think this is all we're going to get, the situation was so much different back in the early 70s than it is now. There's no comparison. We don't know where we could literally be marching into a hyperinflationary environment. You could argue we're in it now because the US dollar has lost, 98, 99% of its purchasing power. We can't even afford to make a penny anymore. Nickels are going soon too. Make it up. Make any of this stuff, people. You can't make this stuff up if you tried to. So again, ask whoever you follow else if Greg Mannarino is right about what he's saying, about the fact that we need action now because of the lag effect. If President Trump today were to get on the phone with Creature Powell, okay, and say, listen, I've seen the light here. We need to raise rates and we need to raise them now. First of all, Powell would fall over on the floor. He would go, whoa, whoa, whoa. You mean I can't inflate? I won't be able to inflate. What am I going to do? I have a sitting president demanding that I raise rates. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I mean, the people at the Fed would go into cardiac arrest at that moment here because, again, now they won't have a player working to have lower rates. You understand? I've been telling all you guys for 1,000 years. The Fed is going to prior to the selection, I said election. Okay, I know it's really set some of you off. You can't take it. Okay, whatever. I said they were going to get the guy who was going to help them inflate. You think I did? You think I was right? Yeah, I think so too. Because we haven't seen any action to stop the tsunami of inflation coming out. So people aren't ready for it. People are not. Look at this here, this poll I am taking so far. 72% of you said that this would be a massive strain to you if we got rates 4 or even 5 times higher than they are now. Well, what do you think happened to these people back here in 1972 that were dealing with 3.4, but by 79.80, it was at 15. Do you not see what I'm talking about? Crossover here, crossover there. You can't make it up. So I am urging all of you, really, man, to take some action here. Write to President Trump, write to everybody. Ask everybody if I'm right about this. You know I'm right. You know I am, all of you here. It's pretty straight freaking forward. Because this is about us, as I'm saying again. It's about you and me and the people of this world here are paying for this environment. It's where nothing is real. What are we going to do? Are we just going to continue to suppress rates here? The Fed's buying 10-year. Look at this, man. This is amazing. To prop up the stock market even more, to make people feel like they're paper rich as this inflationary environment hits us. Again, we're at 3%. We're seeing the still continued effects of Bidenstein. Trump hasn't done anything, not one roadblock here yet, to stop the tsunami because it's a monetary policy issue. It's not about cutting this or cutting that or deporting these people. It's not. This is a monetary policy issue. Who runs the monetary system? The Federal Reserve. And they want to inflate. What we need is a man there, President Trump, hopefully he's man enough to do this, to wake up to the fact that we don't need what Pocahontas is saying. which is the same thing that he's saying. Does this make sense to you what I'm saying? Or is Greg really just totally out there? Greg doesn't know what he's talking about. Let's just turn him off. I mean, come on, guys and girls. You know all this is 100% true. Everything I'm saying here is true. It's verifiable. It's in your face. The market is so, again, we don't have a market. We don't have a single asset class asset today that has a real price discovery mechanism behind it because of the mechanism of artificially suppressed rates and currency devaluation. Is this market going to turn into a bloodbath? It certainly is, but not when you got a situation here where the central banks, in this case, the Fed, all these central banks are the number one issuers and buyers of debt. It's a vortex. It's an inflationary vortex that's speeding up and speeding up and speeding up and speeding up because it takes more and more effort to keep the system propped up. Does that make sense to you what I'm saying here? Ask anybody else. Ask another guy or girl that you follow here on YouTube. Ask Lava. Lava's right on top of this, and a lot of you guys, you just follow Lava. She's very trustworthy. She'll tell you. Guys and girls, man, look. If we don't start to do something, we're going to be dissolved. I've been telling you guys and girls that this is an extinction level event around the world, and the wealth transfer that is in full effect to the 1% and 2%ers. It looks like it is continuing. Now, for my lions out here, as I said, we crossed the golden number here. Well, golden. With regard to the S&P, we want to see close above the December high. We want to hold it, and we want to see the market higher. And we know it appears like that central banks are going to buy it all. In this case, the Fed. Imagine our shock. Imagine absolutely our shock here. All right, look, I will cover a few questions for you. Now, look, as I said, guys, this whole thing, forward this. This is connected to this. If you go to the newsletter, it's at the bottom. Forward this stuff to people. Let them look at it for themselves. Look, man, my job isn't to make up your mind for you. I want you guys to think about the things I cover, like stuff like this, that I don't make this for myself. Do you think I created this for me? Did I do this for Greg? Am I like out here looking for self-aggrandizement and I made this for myself because I just want to do that? No, I made it for you. For you guys and girls, because I want you to see. Seeing is believing, okay? What's actually happening. And if we don't do something, we're going to, look, man, people make their own beds. People generally do not act in their own self-interest. It's really true. Now it's time for us actually to do it. Is what I'm saying really getting through to you guys and girls? Axiom, how you doing? Yes, my sister's doing pretty well, dude. She's back to work, so it's pretty awesome. And you know that Greg Mannarino believes, going back to my sister, in the power of prayer. People pray, man. Pray. Do I like any German cars? Heck yeah, I like a lot of German cars. I think Germans make a heck of a supercar or 2 or 3 out there. No doubt about it. I've had a 911. I had a 911. Let me see. It was a 2008. I love that car. I really did. Anyway, guys, look, man. I think we're kind of done here. I don't really know what else to say, but I want you guys and girls to really ponder everything I've said here. Think about it. Even if you need to watch the video twice, let these things sink into your head. But instead of just sitting, Lava's here. I just mentioned you. Lava, I'm talking to you. Lava, do you think Greg has this right? Or is Greg lying? Is Greg not telling the people the truth here with everything that's happening? Listen to this woman, guys and girls, all right? And she's going to tell you that what Greg is saying is spot on. And if you want to ask somebody else, ask them too. They're going to tell you the same thing. But people, I'm not happy with the way things are going here. It was a miserable nightmare scenario under the last freak. Do you realize that under Biden, we had more record highs for the S&P 500 than even under Trump? And again, looks like the same mechanism. They're going to prop this market up via artificially suppressed rates, killing the currency, an economic wrecking machine to foster the greatest wealth transfer effect we've ever seen. And you're going to pay for it as this tsunami every day that goes by, every minute that goes by. That tsunami of inflation is coming. It's getting closer and closer. It's going to hit like a freight, like an unstoppable force coming right at you, unless action is taken here. And we need it taken now. Again, I am not exaggerating. The action to stop it needs to start now. As with Volcker, again, the lag effect here. It lasted 79. Volcker started raising rates. We didn't start seeing it until the early 80s where it started to roll over. Are you prepared for this? Come on, guys. Come on. Make money gold again. That is got to be one of the greatest things I've heard just so far. Forget about MAGA, okay? MAGA, great. MAGA, beautiful. We all love that, right? Let's make money gold again. The Gold Reserve Act of 1934. That tsunami that's coming at us, it would stop and wither away. It would stop and vanish if Trump would sign an executive order instead of, again, I mean, this gets to me a little bit, signing an executive order banning paper straws for plastic ones. That requires an executive order. But how about something that would actually make a freaking difference a little bit in our lives here, people? Am I out of my mind? Tell me, is Greg out of his freaking mind? Make coppers into pennies again. There's so many ways to fix this. Do you realize any one of you, and I mean what I'm saying here, any one of you guys and girls, you know a lot about the system, how it works, what we need to do, the dark underbelly of it here. You have the ability to advise, let's say in this case, a sitting United States president on what should be done. I don't know who Trump is listening to. I wish someone would tell me, because Pocahontas here and Trump are listening to the same person, obviously. What's going on here? Well, someone smarter than me, which is every single one of you, tell me what's happening here. Explain it to me very, very simply. A way that a child can understand it, or maybe a Cocker Spaniel. You understand? Because that's what I need to hear. All right, guys and girls, this guy here loves you from the heart with all I got, and I mean that. If you've got something out of this video, if I have earned, again, your thumbs up, my little drawings and the stuff that I do, yes, I'm trying to get you to give me a thumbs up. If I've earned that thumbs up, please give me a thumbs up. Comment. Let's find out what's going on here. Let's share this video as far and wide as you can. Start talking about these things and ask whoever you like. Is Greg Mannarino telling us the right thing or the wrong thing? All right. I think you guys and girls can make up your own minds. But anyway, that's kind of where we're at. Love you all with all I got. I will see you guys and girls in the morning. Okay. I'm going racing later, just in case you need to know this one. If you do follow my Instagram, I'm going to post some videos later over at me racing my Copo over there. We'll see if I can get a nice low 8-second run today out of it. All right. So there's a link in the description of this video if you'd like to see that. And I hope you guys and girls enjoy that stuff too. All right. See you in the morning. I'm out of here.